Hi, what we're going to do now is I'm going to read you another extract from Bloodbound. What we're going to look at now in this particular section is the Vampire Hunter's Kit. I did a lot of research for this particular bit. I wanted it to be more than just kind of crosses and stakes, which is what you know. It's a lot of research into kind of the old Victorian vampire hunter kits, stuff that they believed that would help against evils. And also there's a little bit of that kind of Victorian travelling salesman medicine man feel to it as well. Those marvellous potions and spells and pots that were given away that were supposed to cure everything, and they always had fanciful names, and it was probably basically nothing more than a mixture of water and salt. But people bought it in the droves, and there's something about that kind of the theatricalness of those sales and the pictures and the names of the potions and things like that was just amazing. In this particular section, we're going to talk about another character. This character is Brian. Now, Brian is Pandora's uncle. So just so you know the reference when I mention Brian. Brian has now kind of become her unofficial teacher. So this is the section. Brian, however, was adamant and believed that this single vampire race was harmless. But in large numbers, they could be deadly. And he felt this lower level in terms of violence would be a good place for me to cut my teeth, no pun intended, and make sure that all my gear was up to date. The kit included things that you'd expect from a vampire huntress to carry. Your good old stake, although ours was silver-tipped, and a nod to the coming together of my grandfather's coffee making and my dad's work with metal. The stakes themselves were made of hawthorn, a crucifix, syringes of holy water, and a long lecture of why you don't share needles with a vampire. I am of the AIDS generation. I do not need this lecture. Rosaries to be kept round my neck at all times in case the crucifix is lost in battle, and a blade. This, however, was not an ordinary blade. It was a blade of magnificence, too beautiful, in my opinion, to be used this way. Although to Brian, it is the Egyptian scribe dagger that my great-great-grandfather claimed as a prize after destroying the last line of Maori vampires, believing to have been come into being these magical vampires after a witch turned. This line was weak and rare, and often prone to self-destructing, as the battle for bloodlust and magic slowly turned their bodies inside out, not literally. Whether or not great-grandfather did kill the last of this line is now debatable, but hey, waffling. This blade was beautiful, engraved with an intricate pattern, which was mirrored on the sheath and the handle of the blade as well. Holding it in my hands made me feel like I could take on the world and win. However, the kit did involve some strange powders and potions that I'm not quite sure why they are there or what they do. Stuff called Antenic Tara for putric fever, Agmone, apparently used as a cure for a lack of, male virility. Not sure that giving this to a vampire then is a good idea. Elixir of Veltro, Daffy's elixir for purging. A mixture, I am told, of aniseed, brandy, cochineal, emcampath, fennel seeds, juniper, manna, parsley seed, raisins, rhubarb, saffron, senna, and Spanish licorice. Again, not sure how useful this is against a vampire, but it would want to make me be sick. Dr. Anthony's fire and Dr. Behovian's fever powder. They all fit into a nice little bag that reminds me of the bag that Dr. Watson had, with compartments where everything had its place, from medical examinations that lead to exterminations. So, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of kind of like what I saw being part of the Vampires kit. Again, as usual, I look forward to your comments, and that's all for now.